Hi, I'm Phil Anderson and I'm running for United States Senate to represent Wisconsin. I'd like to talk to you this evening about rights. And the question that I have on my mind is, that I think people are a little bit confused about, is does the government or a majority of people have the right to take away rights from people or restrict those rights? According to the founders of our government, of our Constitution, the answer is no. Those rights are inalienable: life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and property. They're listed in the Constitution and in the Bill of Rights, but that doesn't mean they can be taken away. What we got confused about lately is this idea of democracy. People keep saying that we live in a democracy and that democracy is this sort of higher form of government that we want to spread throughout the world, when in fact it really isn't. What democracy is, to put it bluntly, is two wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner. See, anything can be taken away by a majority. As a matter of fact, there have been terrible things done throughout history by majorities. In Germany, in Jim Crow South, in all kinds of places where people voted to take things away from other people simply by virtue of the fact that they were in the majority. And that's why our founders, and even those before them that wrote about liberty, including people like John Locke, said that these things belong to people. They cannot be taken away. They can't be voted away. So let me give you some examples. Our First Amendment right to free speech. Regardless of what somebody says offending somebody else, the right to free speech is there. It belongs to human beings. It's part of us. It's part of who we are. It's part of our nature and part of our property. That can't be taken away. Another example is the Fifth Amendment. Now, currently the government has a no-fly list, which somehow people end up on, and when you get to an airport and they check your ID, they aren't going to let you fly for some reason. This has been done without due process. Often people are on the no-fly list and don't even know they're there. And certainly, as has been witnessed to lately in congressional hearings, even the Department of Homeland Security doesn't know how to take people off the no-fly list. So this is a clear violation of people's right to, if they're accused of something or having their rights restricted, namely the right to travel, the right to be secure in their persons, that there be some sort of due process where they're accused, where there's a case heard in front of a jury of their peers or something. And last but not least, by any means, is the Second Amendment. That's the right to bear arms. Now, people look at the Second Amendment and the way it's worded and try to construe different things about, we don't have militias anymore, and they were referring to muskets. That's all baloney. What it really means is that all these rights that we have are no good unless we can defend ourselves, unless we can defend even governments, unless we can even defend ourselves against governments who might take away these rights. All these things listed in the Bill of Rights are part of who we are, part of what we are as free people, and cannot be separated from us. Not by a government, not by a majority, not for any reason. They are who we are. And I believe, and I will act as your senator, as somebody who believes in those rights as a positive thing. Not that people that carry guns or speak freely or move about freely are threats to civil society, but they're benefits. This is who we are. This is how things get done. This is how people are free. This is how people are healthy and productive. I will support all those rights, constitutionally, morally, logically, as the founders set before us in our founding documents. And I hope that you'll support me as we move through the campaign year towards next November. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.